is no shortage of large display ships in recent years, but the Black Pearl stands out as something truly special. Designed as an 18+ model, this set combines impressive scale and a strong connection to its on-screen inspiration. So with expectations set high, let's jump straight in. Oh wow, what an intro, right? If you are new here, my name is Lucas and welcome to everyone who decided to watch this video. As is tradition on this channel, we will begin with the minifigures. In total, we get 8 minifigures, or 9 if you count the ship's figurehead. Our favorite pirate, Captain Jack Sparrow, takes center stage with excellent printed detail throughout, including leg printing, an intricate decoration on the molded hair and head combination, both front and back. It is also great to see that he comes with a secondary facial expression. Captain Barbossa follows closely with a similar level of detail and a nicely executed head and hairpiece that I don't recall seeing before. That said, I would have preferred a longer beard, as the current print doesn't quite capture his on-screen look. On the plus side, he does include a secondary facial expression. Next up is Elizabeth Swann, featuring a nicely printed two-piece dress element along with a secondary facial print. Then we have Will Turner, who is instantly recognizable thanks to his hair and beard combination, and once again a secondary facial expression. Alongside him is Jack's first mate, Gibbs, who makes a very welcome appearance and also includes an alternative face. The final 3 characters are a bit less well known, but still welcome additions to the lineup. Cotton, the mute pirate, comes with his iconic parrot. Marty is amusingly equipped with a weapon that feels far too large for his stature. And lastly, we have Anna Maria, a somewhat more minor character, but one who still includes a secondary facial expression. Rounding things out is the ship's figurehead, cast entirely in the sand green. Overall, I think the minifigure selection is quite solid, although some might argue that a few of the lesser known characters could have been swapped out for more recognizable fan favorites. And now let's turn to the main attraction of the set, the Black Pearl, and I will be honest, the model is extremely impressive and it feels noticeably larger than I was expecting. The all-black color scheme is exactly how we know the ship from the films, and it looks fantastic from just about every angle. The build is very well executed, with a sleek overall design and especially nice angle shaping towards the aft. Starting at the bottom, the set includes 2 redesigned dark brown display stands that hold the ship securely in place. The hull itself is nicely done and even hides one of the model's clever features. The entire bottom section of the hull, along with the display stands, can be removed. This allows you to display the ship as if it were sailing on water. A great option for everyone wanting to integrate it into a LEGO seascape or waterfront display. At the bow, we find a sand green figurehead minifigure, flanked by some interestingly angled sections that flow smoothly into the ship's overall shape. The anchors sit nearby in their designated resting positions. The forward deck area does feel a bit empty, but moving towards the main deck, things get more interesting. There is a simple rowboat, and beneath it a cargo hatch that lifts to reveal cannons and a treasure chest. Nearby, the capstan does spin, although it isn't functionally connected to the ropes or anchors in the model. Moving aft, the doors that would normally lead to the captain's quarter actually conceal storage space for a few bottles, probably some good Caribbean rum. Climbing the stairs brings us to the ship's wheel, and above the captain's quarter sits an upper deck set at a slight angle. Aside from three beautifully built lampposts at the rear, this area is fairly open, but it remains visually striking. This entire rear section lifts off as a single module, allowing access to the captain's quarter below. A simple yet atmospheric room filled with candles, food, maps, and a table. The only minor issue with the removable part is that it could benefit from being attached at the rear with one or two studs. Moving up to the sails, the set includes 10 cloth-like sail pieces in 4 different styles, each with various holes and cutouts. These are mounted on unusually structured masts built in multiple sections, which really elongate the ship and capture its on-screen proportions very accurately. At 64 centimeters tall or 25 inches, this may well be the tallest LEGO ship ever produced. The model is topped off with a Jolly Roger flag made from the same material as the sails. If you are paying close attention, you will notice there is no traditional crow's nest. Instead, there are several platforms with jumper plates that allow the minifigure to be posed along the masts. Despite being very much a display-focused model, this ship hides several play features in plain sight. At the rear, a pair of gears deploys the ship's cannons on both sides, opening the gun ports at the same time. These are the brick-built cannons rather than traditional firing elements, so they don't actually shoot, but I'm perfectly fine with that trade-off. Another standout feature is the rudder. As you would expect, it is linked to the ship's wheel, and yes, it actually works. Turning the wheel rotates a Technic assembly beneath the deck, which in turn moves the rudder from side to side in a surprisingly clever and satisfying way. Up to this point, I have mostly been praising how amazing this set is, but there are a few areas where it could have been improved. What bothers me the most, as always, are the visible Technic pins. On the main deck, near the removable cargo hatch, 2 of them are clearly visible and could have been easily hidden with a pair of 1x1 rounded bricks in black or dark gray. That said, these are there to securely hold the rowboat in place. There is also a red Technic pin visible on one of the masts. This one would be more difficult to hide, but not impossible. And if I really had to nitpick, the shrouds along the sides of the mast feel a bit loose in several places. But that said, these are the only real negatives I have with this set. If this set has caught your attention and you didn't pick it up on release day, it is currently priced at 380 American dollars or 350 euros or 300 British pounds, and it contains 2,862 pieces along with 8 minifigures plus the ship's figurehead. The set comes with a single instruction manual, and it took me around 6 hours to complete the build. Overall, the process was fairly quick, but once you begin assembling the masts, things slow down considerably. That said, the end result is absolutely worth it. Now let's talk about the building experience, because this set is exactly what an 18+ LEGO set should be. I had an amazing time putting it together, and after a year that hasn't delivered many truly outstanding releases, this is the one I would recommend above all others. One of the highlights is undoubtedly the cannon deploying mechanism, which you built very early on. Watching this simple yet effective system come together is extremely satisfying. Another standout is the hull construction. For most of the build, the model rests on LEGO hull pieces for stability, but once about entire ship is complete, you build the underside along with the fixed display stands. These sections can be easily detached, giving you the option to display the ship either on its stands or as if it were sailing on water. What I enjoyed most, however, were the many clever angles and building techniques used throughout the model. My favorite example is how the tips of the mudguard car elements around the windows slot perfectly into the holes of the black ice cream cones pieces, locking everything firmly in place. It's such a clean solution and is a technique I will definitely be using in one of my own LEGO city builds. And that brings us to the obvious question. With so many ships LEGO has released recently, how does this one compare? In my own collection, I only have the Endurance and the River Steamboat. When placing all three side by side, Endurance is still the clear winner in my eyes, but what about you? So, where does that leave the Black Pearl? Overall, this is an outstanding display model that delivers on scale, detail, and clever engineering. Between the strong minifigure selection, the imposing exterior, and the surprisingly engaging build process, this set easily stands out as one of LEGO's best ship releases in recent years. Yes, there are a few minor nitpicks, but none of them come close to overshadowing just how impressive the final model is. And with that, this also marks my final LEGO review of the year. Thank you all for watching, commenting, and supporting the channel throughout the year. It genuinely means a lot. And as always, if you enjoyed this review and want to see more LEGO content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and consider using the affiliate links when picking up any brick build models. Thanks again, and until next time, happy building!